It's been a while since I've done one of these update coverage videos, so let's get back into it with one of the most exciting updates I've seen in quite some time. There are many changes coming to the Lord of the Rings Online with the newest update, Update 41, and in this video I'm going to go through each of them and weigh in with my 2 cents, mostly expressing my excitement for them. There has been little coverage of the new update as far as I have seen, so I'm here to fix that. As of recording, Update 41 is scheduled to release tomorrow, July 31st, and the legendary servers are scheduled for the day after, August 1st. Be sure to like the video and subscribe for more Lotro coverage videos, and let me know what you're most excited for in the comments.
Bird up!
After over 17 years, Lord of the Rings Online finally has a second hobby. Yes, step aside fishing. It's time for birding to be the new hip and or cool thing to do. Yeah, it seems like it'll function the same as fishing, where you'll receive a birding kit that will replace your main hand weapon, and the skill from the hobby tab can go in your skill bar so that you can click, scan for a bird, and then click your skill again so the bird gets registered. Overall, I'm really happy with the new hobby, and I think one is long overdue. You know, I understand fishing has its practical value, especially at later levels where it's needed for food, but like, come on, man. We've been long overdue for something new. There's been quite a bit of love for PVMP in recent updates, and this one is no exception. Now, alongside having new reward checks for both creeps and freeps, there's also a sapling that will spawn for both sides that 4 people will be allowed to become what's called a glory seeker. Originally, they got a damage boost alongside everything else listed, but they quickly found out that this was blatantly overpowered in favor of the freeps, and that's not what we're trying to do here, guys. Creeps have historically been underpowered compared to freeps because of the rising power creep, but no. I think this one's really cool. I'm not a devout PVMP player, but I do dabble here and there, and I think becoming a glory seeker and gaining more infamy or renown just by playing the game and completing new quests seems really interesting. I'm glad they're giving love to PVMP and making it more interesting than just trying to make an entirely different thing. So, prospectors and cooks are getting a new event set in Thorin's Hall. Unlike the previous Foresters event, this one is a lot more cooperative and doesn't actually require players to be crafters in the specific field in order to participate. According to this long line of text, prospectors and cooks can speak with coordinators to start, at the start of the event, and grab side quests. And people who aren't those can help with the main quest to help stave off hungry hobbits and sluggard miners who will try and oppose you. So according to Orion, the lead designer of Lotro, if you are uncooperative, you'll get nothing. You are awarded for participating. If you do not have a related profession and choose to deliver materials, you will receive rewards commensurate with your involvement. This awards to the equivalent of 1 winner ribbon with the highest tier of contributions. It's hard to imagine this event because the forum page is just like a long block of text. But I mean, it looks really well thought out, and I really look forward to playing this when it releases. Alright, now for the second biggest thing that's coming in Update 41. The Lore Master is getting a hefty rework. There's a lot going on here, and I recommend checking out the forum page for all of the changes that they're making. I'm literally just going to go over some of my favorite changes and weigh in on what I know. Return to Master is now a skill that you can use in combat and has a 15-second cooldown. Dismiss Pet is a new skill that intends to make cycling through pets on yellow line for their debuff effects more efficient. Several skills are either becoming baseline skills or are being given 2 different lines, such as Ancient Craft and Sticking Tar going to yellow line only. Inner Flame is now going to blue line, and Wizard's Fire and Frost are going to all lines, along with a new skill, Wizard Spark. Blue line is getting a ton of love across the board, They're now making pets the center of attention and giving huge buffs depending on what pet you have active. Redline is getting a few changes to make you as the player more powerful while putting the pet to the wayside. For the most part, a lot of the traits are unchanged, but I would like to highlight these buffs here. Ent, Go to War, and Lightning Storm. 5 minutes to 1 minute and 90 seconds to 60 seconds is insane, as these are like two of the Lore Master's best skills for dealing damage. Yellow Line isn't getting a whole lot, I mean, besides the aforementioned skills, but I would like to draw attention to a new skill that is given at the bottom of their trait line. The Ancient Master. Not only does it charge the crits and heals that you deal, but it also powers up your toolkit. Like, bro, this is absolutely insane. Like, the whole point was to try and make, like, Blue Line, you know, somewhat viable, and they gave Yellow Line an ability that makes all the abilities that you are already using so much more power. I'm glad that they're giving Lore Master quite a bit of love in this update, and they're giving each trait line a lot more personality. I'm not sure if this is going to change the viability ranking, you know, of like red line being better than blue line, but yellow line's, you know, just more desirable, because again, Lore Master is the only good crowd control class in the entire game. But I think, you know, red or blue line will give yellow line a run for its money in smaller groups for sure.
Destroy the child. Corrupt them all.
The legendary servers Angmar and Mordor are releasing the day after the release of Update 41. To access them, you'll need to be VIP, and there's a distinct characteristic of these servers that will make them fundamentally different than anything else Lotro has ever experienced. What will happen is that starting at level 15, you will occasionally be hunted by lesser wraiths and need to fend them off. This can casually ramp up the difficulty if you're not playing with any landscape difficulty, but these wraiths will be hellish with any landscape difficulty. In addition, the Nazgul will spawn across the map that can be defeated at level cap. It's speculated that it will take upwards of 50 players to defeat the ring wraiths, but what might help are the 12 rings that will be scattered across Middle-earth. Players can pick these rings up, trade them with their friends, and wear them to help better the odds against these fearsome foes. But to avoid being greedy with them, you are only allowed to have a ring for 10 days before it is either given back to a wraith that will be defeated or tossed back into Middle-earth for someone else to find. The first level cap will be at 50 and is expected to move a few months into the server's lives. The first level cap will be at 50 and is expected to move a few months into the server's life. The servers will be hosted on the new 64-bit servers, so it will greatly reduce combat lag, and all instances will be preloaded so that there's no lag in those either. Needless to say, man, I am super hyped for this. Like, I'm going to be making a character and streaming on Angmar, and like, I just think like the idea of having to go out and find these rings to help like defeat these powerful like enemies that are just kind of hanging out in the landscape, it's so interesting. And I think it gives like the entire player base a reason to just like, yeah, come on down. Level some new characters, you know, have some fun in a new server. You know, it's not quite classic Lotro as it once was, but I just don't think it'll ever be like that. But it gives the entire player base an opportunity to relive this content like when it was the hardest in the game. So that's it then. Again, this video is cutting it really close as the update is scheduled for tomorrow, but I just haven't heard much coverage on it outside of a forum post and an interview. Like I feel like people should just be talking about this. It's super exciting. Let me know what you're excited for most in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe for more Lotro coverage in the future. That's about it from me, so I will see you guys later.